And welcome LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, as well as over there on Instagram. It's your girl on Figured Out Friday in the Coaches Cafe, where you no longer have to figure it out alone. I'm so excited today to have in the studio with me Alisha Reese. We have a very good conversation lined up for you all, but because I know my good people, make sure you have your water because you all know we pull up with our hydration station. And so, if you are new to me, good morning. Oh, hey, good morning on Instagram. We have a live interview on LinkedIn, Facebook, as well as on my YouTube channel, Doing Life Well with Regina. If you want to see my guest today, you're going to need to pull up on one of those platforms for me if you're coming to see me from YouTube. I'm Regina Lack, and I am a certified social worker. And what I do, I'm not a therapist. A lot of times people ask me, do I practice therapy? I do not practice therapy. The work that I do is with organizations and with groups to provide nutrition literacy. And my whole goal is to reduce your chronic disease risk factors and improve your health outcomes. So that's what I do as a whole food plant-based vegan who pulls up in this space to educate my community and the world at large in regards to preventable lifestyle conditions. And so if you or someone you know and or love is struggling in your health, then I can help. I'm happy to help you through lifestyle education, behavior change, as well as community accountability. That's my plug for this morning. In case you are new to me, I am Regina Lacken, the plant-based boss, becoming a well soul every day. And I invite you to do the same. We have a powerful conversation this morning again with Alisha Reese, and she is been back in Mississippi maybe about a year and a half now. So we're going to have this California swag with us this morning. Alisha brings expertise in sports massage, sports stretching. So that is very new. It's very new to me. Let me say that it's very new to me. So I'm going to read her bio, and then I'm just going to ask her to have a conversation with us about who she is. I'm going to invite you to share this live out because we're going to be talking about recovery. Y'all know my mantra is we are here to recover the recoverable. The fact is our health is recoverable. Oftentimes we lean into the nutrition, what to eat. Y'all tell me what to eat. And then the other thing that we lean into, we lean into our exercise, our movement. You can have your exercise, you can have your nutrition, but allowing the body to recover and what that looks like is a big key factor in your health improvement. So I'm going to read Alisha's bio and then we're going to get into this conversation. Alisha brings extensive expertise in sports, not just regular, but sports massage, stretching, and therapy. Recovery, wellness education, as well as an organizational wellness leader. Through BAMS Jackson, and I'm going to allow her to tell you all what BAMS is. Good morning, and thank y'all for joining over on Instagram. She helps individuals, athletes. So if your young people need this service, make sure you reach out. She helps individuals, athletes, and organizations build practical strategies for restoration, recovery, and intentional self-care. She also leads wellness programming, develops, this is what touches my heart, plant-based self-care products, serves as a health writer for the Jackson Advocate, and is a passionate advocate for making wellness education accessible throughout communities. We welcome Alisha Reese to the studio this morning. Hello, Alisha.
Hello, I'm loving this energy, Regina. Thank you so much. It's just an honor to even be here on your platform. But the energy right now, I'm feeling all the love. I'm feeling all the love, and I appreciate it so much.
The love is here for you, and we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about all that. Thank y'all for joining. We're live here on LinkedIn, Regina Lack, and YouTube. My YouTube channel is Doing Life Well with Regina. Subscribe and head over there right now, Instagram, and then we're live on Facebook. So, Alisha, I
Yes.
just read your bio, but we all know reading a bio is like reading a resume. What are you saying? And so,
Okay.
if you will, tell the people who Alisha is. We're both plant based. I do want you to weave that in there, but tell the people who you are, Alisha, and how you got your journey started.
Okay, yes. So again, thank you for having me. And wow, just the journey with massage therapy specifically, that started off decades ago. And I found that love for just the human body and anatomy. But
Mm-hmm,
more importantly, I remember my son, children, they fall down, they're crying. And whenever you apply touch, just that soothing mechanism of touching someone, the
mm-hmm,
crying would stop. And I said, okay, there's something with touch when you're not feeling your best.
mm-hmm,
It could be immediate injury or you're sick, you're just not feeling well. But when someone touches you, the pain can subside, whether it was mental, emotional, or just the physical releases there. The pain would stop, the crying stopped. So I said, okay, that's a connection. I was a young person back then. And so that was what drew me into massage therapy and understanding just the manual touch. Now, you talked about, so who am I? So, Body and Mind Solutions. That goes back to, again, family. My parents' organization in Jackson, Mississippi was Black Arts Music Society. So
wow.
when formulating my business, I wanted to have a piece of just the family, just something that I could
Mm-hmm,
go back, think about. And I said, okay, BAMS, I have to keep that some way, somehow. And so after doing a little bit of thinking on the name, body. So, okay, I'm going to be addressing the physical body, the
mm-hmm,
mind, and providing solutions. And so you see how soul is spelled, right?
mm-hmm,
So everything very intentional
mm-hmm,
and having a meaning for me. So when I would go out into the community, it just resonates and it made sense for me. And I found a way to give back to my parents as well. So Body and Mind Solutions, Black Arts Music Society. So that is where the name, came from. And I just enjoy, helping people.
uh-huh,
I want people to feel great at all times. I came up in a household where I knew early on that the body, it would heal itself.
mm-hmm,
The importance of mind over matter. My father was diagnosed with a very rare cancer, a lung cancer, when I was like 3 years old, and just seeing what he experienced, they gave him 6 months to live. 6 months. And in hearing the stories, because I was so young then, but in hearing the stories, my dad told the doctors at that time, "You're not my God. Like you don't tell me how long I have to
mm,
live."
mm.
Very powerful. I had the opportunity to speak with one of the doctors on his staff like
Yes,
2 years ago, and this is on YouTube,
yes, yes,
Dr. Smith.
yes.
And so, of course, knowing my father, seeing him until he transitioned, and he lived about 23 years later after again being told 6 months.
Mm-hmm,
But seeing him firsthand overcome that just by his thinking
mm-hmm,
and his eating
mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
being active in his healing. So telling them, no, I'm going to try this, I'm going to do this, but no chemo, no radiation. He
No
avoided all
chemo.
those things. Oh, no, 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 no. So again, when you see this at an early age, you understand the body's ability, but you also have to understand your role in it. You
Okay.
have to understand your role in it. Our health is our responsibility. So once you accept and not be a victim to what's happening and not succumbing to what's going on, but just okay, this is what it is. But now what can I do to relieve myself? What changes do I have to make? So just being able to witness firsthand, of my father
It doesn't
over
get no
time.
closer than that. It does not get any closer to that. And thank you so much for sharing in regards to we have a responsibility. Your dad was received the diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't deny the diagnosis because a lot of times people are like, well, I just don't receive that. He did not deny the diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
But what he did say was, you're not my God, and I'm going to try this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What were
100.
some things that your dad tried? And just because you said he lived another 20 something years after this diagnosis, he did not do chemo or radiation or any of those traditional interventions for cancer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's amazing, the one thing I remember the most was a high dose of vitamin C.
Okay.
And in this interview with the doctor, he kind of laid out some of the things that my dad tried. And then, like I said, just hearing firsthand, but it was the eating. We
Mm-hmm.
came up first, never eating any pork. We were the Mississippi family that the jokes were cracked because we were eating like the eggplants back then, eating, vegetables, and it was just very uncommon how the structure that we came up in.
Yeah.
So juicing has been a thing for us, understanding like vegetables and fruits and how
Mm-hmm.
they heal you, which ones you should eat, what you should stay away from. So just his eating, but I'm gonna tell you more importantly, his belief in the creator and his belief in his plan,
Mm-hmm.
not having negative energy around him. He told my mother, if anybody is coming to visit me and they like, woe is me, just crying, sad, bringing me flowers as though I'm already dead, deny them entry. They
Mm-hmm.
can't come. So
It's the energy.
it's
Yeah.
it's it's the energy, it's a mindset, and it's an awareness of mind over matter.
Yeah.
Mind over matter. And you know what? And I have to jazz. John Reese was jazz. When we talk about healing. And another thing I implement in my practice, you've seen Nicole comes out, she does sound alchemy, the
Mm-hmm.
frequency in music and tunes. So most people who will tell you his love for jazz and him keeping that on the forefront, no matter where he found himself in a hospital room, at home, jazz. So it was a combination of things. But to answer your question specifically, his mindset, it's the mindset first and foremost. It's the mindset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mhm.
thank you so much. When we bring forth like the context, like here's the
Mhm.
background, here's the undergird of how we get to where we are. And I appreciate you making the connection. If you are just joining us, we're live here with Alisha Reese, who is just giving us a background of her amazing story, how she came into this space as a whole food plant-based vegan, also a professional. I'm not going to say massage. We're going to let you describe your actual element. But we're
Mhm.
here today. We're going to be talking about recovery. What does that look like? As a part of my wellness plan, I have a recovery specialist. Alicia Reese is my recovery specialist. It's easy for us to talk about our nutrition, what we should put in our bodies, and rightly so. Third John 1 and 2 says, I pray that you will prosper and be in good health, even as your soul shall prosper. And oftentimes we're like, oh, I'm saved, I'm going to heaven, all that. However, what are we doing on earth when it comes to our health? That's why I pull up every Friday and across the week to make sure you have information so that you can make informed decisions. Now, when it comes to our recovery, we just are going and going and going. I had the beautiful experience of having a sports massage stretch with Alisha Reese, who's here with me on Facebook, YouTube, as well as on LinkedIn. So I had the opportunity to have a beautiful experience with her at her at her retreat venue. And so I can say this, the 45-minute experience for my recovery reminded me of why we need to slow down and allow our bodies to go through this process. And at the end of it, we're going to get into this conversation, but at the end of that 45-minute session, y'all, I felt 15 pounds lighter. I felt 15 pounds lighter. And I knew that this sports massage stretch is more than a massage, like a typical traditional massage. I say it put a typical traditional massage to sleep. That's how phenomenal it was and the practice of it. So we're getting into this conversation. How do we recover, allow our bodies to recover? We're talking about our health. What can we do to improve our health? We've got to allow our bodies time to recover. It's not just the nutrition, and it's not just the exercise and the movement.
Mhm.
It is that and allowing your bodies to recover. So, Alisha, when people think about getting healthy, they typically focus on exercise. Like, I'm gonna move, I gotta get these pounds off, or
Mhm.
the doctor told me X, Y, and Z. Why should recovery be considered just as important as our movement?
Because it all works together. So there's not one particular thing that you can just, rely on. And
Mhm,
most of us in this space, we're going to always use the car, for example. That's just something that most people can understand. So you don't just get an oil change. There's an engine you're going to check, you're going to change filters. There's so many things you're going to do to maintain just your vehicle
mhm,
in itself, right? So it's the same thing with the body. You can go, and I'm just use myself as an example because I didn't always get it right. Um, but when I was a little heavier and not in my best of health,
mhm,
and the focus was just, well, I'm going to work out, I'm going to the gym, but I'm still eating poorly.
mhm.
I'm still thinking poorly. There's so
Right.
many other things I'm not doing, but because I'm getting up and I'm going to the gym, I'm expecting these results. That's foolish. I mean, and I had to really come to, okay, I'm
Yeah.
doing something, right? But that's not realistic. So it's the same thing. You want to allow your body an opportunity to heal,
Mhm,
to expand, to release.
mhm,
And that's what movement helps your body to do. So when you think about recovery, just think about that car. There's so many moving parts to it, so many things you have to do just to maintain. So that's the same thing with the body. Like you can't, one thing is not enough. Just coming to receive a massage is not enough.
mhm.
So that's not realistic. So it's just it's a whole body. So you have to have different things to incorporate to get the best results.
Yeah, I just raised my hand and say, ouch, because I was a junk food vegan, right? And so I'm thinking I'm doing the thing. Of course, when I first transitioned to the vegan
Mhm.
lifestyle, I didn't know what I was doing. And so, as you're talking about the car, like an engine, every day you're putting, well, I won't say every day, but when your fuel tank gets low, you're
Yeah,
going to refuel it.
absolutely.
So you're going to refuel that as a natural part of your car operating and doing what it's supposed to do. Our bodies need fuel, the right
The
fuel.
right fuel.
Otherwise, you're going to have problems. And so I think about, like, I love the analogy of the car. And now that we're talking about the recovery aspect, when we think about our bodies, so every 3 months or so, at minimum, you get your oil change. And now, because of how we're moving so much more, you probably getting your oil change more than that. But I hear what you're saying is to have a system.
You have to have a
You have
system.
to have a system and a plan.
Yes. Because even today, environment is not the same. So you got to think about your air quality. If you're sitting in an office space all day, what does that look like? What are the people that you're around? High stress levels, the food quality. So like we even going back vegan, you said plant based. So it's 11 years, and like
11
you, I
years
started
vegan. You've
11
been,
years.
hey,
Yes. And I'm
yes.
just as excited as the very first the time that I did. And I went cold turkey. Like so
Mhm.
I just went complete
Bam.
cold turkey. But coming up in a household like I did, I was not a super heavy meat eater.
Mhm.
Dairy was more my thing. I just couldn't let go of that cheese. But like I feel great. I feel amazing just and I'm happy with that change. But I had to make some adjustments along the way. So
Mhm.
it's just starting. You have to start something and you have to figure out what's working for you and what's not. In my practice, I make sure, you have to treat each person as an individual because what's working for Regina
Mhm.
is not going to work for the next person. So you have to have that awareness of what's working for one is not going to be, it's not a cookie cutter, one
Mhm.
size fit all thing in
Yeah.
life, and this
Yeah.
lifestyle. So you have to do what works for you. So recovery is just something that's needed. It's going to open up so much space in your body, your mind, just your soul. And I'm happy that you shared your experience and saying you felt 15 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
Just that level of relief, right?
It
You
was.
that
It
level of
was.
relief is needed. Yes.
Yeah, if you all have not seen the video highlights from that experience, and I also did a synopsis of it. I did a reel and a synopsis of it a couple of weeks ago. Got to get back on her books because she's booked and busy. But when I tell you, just as you are learning to take better care of your body from a holistic standpoint, having a recovery wellness plan is paramount. And if we're not intentional, that's the real BMI. Shout out to Charles Smith, my uncle. Be more intentional. If we're not more intentional with our health and our health practices, then we're going to repeat cycles and wondering why, as Jonathan McReynolds says, I'm not going to be going in these cycles. I'm not going to be doing that. And so that's why we're pulling up. If you're just now joining us today, we are talking movement recovery and sustainable wellness. We want you to move, but it's not just move. We need you to understand the importance of your recovery. What actually happens, Alicia, to our muscles and our bodies when we don't prioritize recovery?
So what can tend to happen is, for example, if you're already experiencing some level of discomfort or pain in your body, you're at your desk, you're sitting down all day, you're on a computer, and it's not ergonomically set up. So that means your wrists are just like this, you got the neck going down. Over time, you're going to start to compensate. So
Mm,
not only will you experience that same level of discomfort or pain, if you will, on the left side,
mhm,
because now you're going to put everything on the right side
mhm,
because you know that there's something going on over here. So you're just doing your body a disservice in the long run. It's like, again, we can say the car, it needs to move. It has to be activated. So when the muscles in your body are just sitting up with just on TV, remote control, not doing anything, just slowly deteriorating something that the creator gave us to be active and moving with, right? So you're going to find it to be very difficult as we age, if you will,
mhm.
when we're not as mobile and flexible, because you're going to get up, oh, now I want to go to the gym. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult. I like preventive. I like to be on the side of let's do something before it gets to a point of I have to do something. It's easier that way. I found when you are faced with now I have this injury or now I have this diagnosis and I
Mhm.
have to make these adjustments. It's a lot, it just makes more sense to be
Mhm.
on a preventative side of things, right? So that you can just be your best self, feel your best self. And that's just over
Yeah.
time, you're gonna be more prone to injuries because
Mhm.
you're not moving. You're not moving. So it just does a lot more negative than it does positive for you when you are not giving your body that opportunity to relax and recover as it should.
Yeah, and you're a lot tenser. And I
Oh,
say
for sure.
this in my video that I talked about. So for that sports stretch,
Mhm.
if you hold a lot of tension in your body, which as a leader in the workspace, and if I could submit to any organization, decision maker, human
Mhm.
resource personnel who are looking to improve and optimize your team's health, then I would say consider as you're having your wellness events, your employee wellness opportunities, to have someone like a sports stretch therapist to come in as a part of a wellness hour, power hour, to allow that opportunity.
So yeah, so what I've seen and what I've been a part of some initiatives in work spaces,
Mhm,
you chair massages for sure, and we
mhm,
have a table massage. We recommend, or I should say suggest,
mhm,
just allowing employees the opportunity to get up. So you get maybe like 2 15s and a 30-minute break, right?
mhm,
Well, even outside of that, allowing movement, get
mhm.
up, take a quick walk. And if you're at your desk and you're limited to being able to leave out, there's so many things you can do while sitting in a chair. So just having the resources and information where you can stretch, just at your desk, sitting in your chair. But employee appreciation days and your health fairs are great opportunities where you can take to your human resources to ask for massage therapy. You can ask for a chiropractor to come out. It's endless. It's not, like I said, it's a plan that has a lot
Mhm.
of pieces to it. It's not just one thing, but those are great starts to have a chair massage or even the sports recovery to be present at your jobs. Yes.
Yeah, and I was sharing that because I praise be to God from whom all
Okay.
blessings flow. I was
Um,
able to retire last year, June 30th, from state government after serving for 28 years.
congratulations.
And had I had this type of information and access to it, I would have made the recommendations. And so I know
Yes.
we're live on LinkedIn. That is the reason why I know that's more of a professional setting environment platform. So for
Okay.
all the replay people who are decision makers, people need more than say a meal ticket or an employee lunch. And oftentimes y'all are feeding them stuff that keep them at home with their blood pressure up.
Hot dogs.
That's a freebie on a Friday from your girl, the plant-based boss. But I want to
Yes.
invite us into a different space when we're talking about recovery, because I what that tension in the body, high stress jobs, having to make a lot of decisions. And then when you're in the workspace, there are times as a leader, you carry a lot of weight. And so being able to just to have a place where you yourself, everybody don't. I love therapists. I know a lot of them. I do not have one. Everybody don't need a therapist, but I know a lot of therapists. Everybody don't need a therapist. Sometimes they need a coach. Sometimes they may need a different professional. I'm introducing a different professional that also helps to relieve and eliminate stress in the body. So, yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of flack for that because everybody think everybody need a therapist.
No, but that's dead on what you said.
Yeah, they may not need a therapist today. They may have worked through all the things. And so I want
Mm,
to just make sure that we honor the space for many pathways to healing
absolutely.
and recovery. Alicia.
Thank you for saying that too.
Oh
Thank you
yeah.
for saying that, because yeah, 22 years of federal government on this side too
Mhm,
before I walked away, and I know firsthand, and a lot of this is coming from lived experience of
mhm,
what I endured for those 22, years. And so implementing things and trying to help those my peers, leadership there, but more importantly myself. So my workspace at that time was very serene. My diffuser stayed going.
mhm,
I
mhm,
kept it peaceful, calm at all times, just for my own well-being. Yes,
mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah. So I know that I know sometimes we don't think about the impact of stress in our bodies. And as one who, worked in a number of roles, a number of positions, you carry a lot of tension in your body that you may not
Mhm.
verbalize. And the body does recognize that the tension headaches, the stress headaches, what people like to say, the stress eating. We're not going to talk about that. So let's move on because that's a whole nother conversation.
Mhm.
Alicia, I started this challenge July 1st, and many people are participating in it. I'm so excited too. Many people are participating in the 1 mile, 10,000 step challenge this month. What are your recovery tips for beginners? Like somebody who don't even know what a sports massage stretch is. What are your recovery tips for beginners?
So when we think about recovery, number one, I think most of us have a difficult time with resting.
Mm.
Like,
Ouch. Ouch. Who has
it's
a difficult time with resting? Yes, I agree.
yeah, so resting, you said it when you started the show, hydration.
Mhm.
And as you grab your water, um, staying hydrated and resting is not the same as sleeping. So I'm gonna say sleeping. Those are two different things. Um, Stretching, and you can do that on your own. These are just the and simple things. Doesn't take a whole lot. But I would start there. Movement, just we did resting postures together, right? Where we just did a squat, just
Mhm.
sitting still, just challenging your body to just exist with no pain. Let's work on just being able to sit and nothing and everything feels great. So I would say if you just start with being aware of listening to your body, my body is telling me to go and just sit still. Honor
Mhm.
it. Just
Mhm.
honor it.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, well, I'm feeling a little dehydrated, maybe fatigue. Know what the signs are. Oh,
Mhm.
just go drink some water.
Mhm.
And then sleeping. Why are you up at 11:30 midnight and you're scrolling on your phone? Just put it down at least an hour before you're even going to rest and end your day. Excuse me. Put the devices down. That's still, you're still stimulating the brain. Just put that down and just go to sleep. When you
Mhm.
get up, just stretch. Just so that those are basic, simple. But when you say recovery, it sounds like it's nothing, but it does the body like just it's wonderful for the body.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I'm super excited. I have been tagged, DM, so many people participating in this challenge. And the whole goal for July is to keep moving.
Keep moving.
We get to summer, get hot, we want to go inside. Like, keep moving, sis. Keep moving, bro. Your health is
Mhm.
calling you. It's not going to wait till the fall. You're going to fall down and can't get back up. So, we want you to keep moving because we start off the year amazing. We have
Mhm.
all these goals. We're going to do this and do that. And by in the January, we don't fell off. So we want to make sure that thank you all for joining over on Instagram. Y'all come on over to my YouTube channel, Doing Life Well with Regina, so you can see Alisha as we're having this interview. We do a lot to get ready for the new year, but my goal is for us to stay active throughout the year because our health is calling every single day. And so when we do better in community, people have been tagging me and posting me. So I thought it would be very fitting
Mhm.
to have a conversation about recovery in our bodies. What does that look like? Because we can move, move, move. If you're not properly stretching before and after your workout, that's going to be a problem. And then if you're not allowing your body the time to recover, you mentioned sleep, you also mentioned rest, and you
Mhm.
also mentioned powering down devices before you lay down about an
Mhm.
hour to reduce that
Mhm.
stimulation to the brain. And then
Mhm.
you also mentioned just some basic movement practices for
Mhm.
beginners. So if you're not doing anything as a part of your recovery plan, if you're moving, even if you're walking, you want to
Mhm.
give your body time to settle and come back down. So I had the pleasure of experiencing a sports stretch. Never heard of it. Okay. I'm very familiar with a massage. And so I
Mhm.
had no idea what to expect. And we were at Yellow Scarf Retreats in Jackson, Mississippi. If you're looking for an event venue to host for team building, just a wellness environment, that is a great place to look into. Which Alisha is the owner, operator, facilitator of that space. But we were at Yellow Scarf Retreats. One, your environment makes a difference. So we were there, and I had the awesome pleasure of experiencing a sports massage stretch. When I tell you all, I literally, not figuratively, like I felt 15 pounds lighter. So, can you explain how the recovery sports stretch, because I know you work with athletes. Alicia worked with professional athletes, okay, y'all? She didn't ask for that plug, but anyway, she works with professionals. And so, can you just explain to the community, to people, how the recovery sports stretch is not just for athletes, but everyday people who are trying to live healthier lives?
Yeah. So, because everybody has a body. So, we all have a body and we're all just doing something different with our body. And there are just some of us who happen to we have a different career path. So we're in corporate settings, and then you do have professional athletes that are youth. Their body is the business,
Mm-hmm,
right? But at the end of the day, it's the same, and that it's the same body.
mm-hmm,
So that is why sports stretch can also be used, when we just say active bodies alike, right? So it's improving your overall performance within
mm-hmm.
your body, flexibility, strengthening your muscles, and helping to release like the hips. It's
Yes.
just a movement, it's a flow. Like, excuse me, you have to experience it, but pretty much touching every aspect of the body. And it's in such a unique sequence that
Mm-hmm,
makes sense as you're moving along. We're on a mat. So you're grounded, the gravity of the practitioner being above and just being able to apply that adequate pressure throughout. But it opens up so many pathways within the body, helps you to, your blood is flowing better. You feel that relief. Again, if you are an athlete, that performance, which is important, so you're able to have this done pre-event. It can happen before routine maintenance, like for yourself. So it just has so many beautiful, I would say, you have to experience it. It's hard for
oh
me
yeah.
to. So if you say Thai massage, it incorporates compression. It's just so many different levels. So it's hard for me to explain. If you've had a sports massage, you're on a table typically, you're on
Mm-hmm.
a mat. So it is very different. I just welcome you all to watch the video so you can just see, firsthand what Regina is talking about. But how did you, so 15 pounds lighter, but let's talk about, your body, did you feel loose? Could you
Oh
feel
my
any
goodness.
expansion behind it?
Listen, I didn't know I could move in that way, like all the different positions that as a professional you
Uh-huh.
aligned me to. And let me just say this, don't try that at home, because you will mess around and hurt something. But
It's good when you have, so it's good when you have assisted stretching, when someone is guiding you and
yes,
helping you. And so with this style of stretch, although you are relaxing, you are definitely participating in it, because we're talking about breathing. You're being
yes,
reminded to take, a deep breath, breathe
yes,
normal. But yeah, so you're active in this. So although you're getting that relaxation, you are very much involved in this style of stretching. I'll just say
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was for me, it allowed my body to really slow down.
Mm-hmm.
As a thinker, as an athlete, because I'm still very active.
Mm-hmm.
I'm training for something now, but back in March I ran a half marathon, and I was like, where was she after this? Okay, like where was she after this? So, and then one of the things that really resonated with me about the experience was I immediately thought about just, I felt a release of just tension in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And from the release of tension in my body, I felt so super loose. And I will say this, none of the tightness in my body has returned.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that was
That's
about three
awesome.
weeks ago when we had this
That's
experience.
awesome. And
Yeah.
because you're still very much active, and you're moving. So you're allowing the blood to flow. Have you been doing any of the movement that I demonstrated with you at the end?
Yes.
Okay.
So let me just say this. And if you're comfortable showing people two or three pieces, I'm good with that. But I will say this, I do a lot of driving, I travel a lot.
Uh-huh.
And so there are times when I get sleepy. Okay. And that's just real talk. Even though I go to bed at a respectable time, I get up at a respectable time because I value my
Mhm.
sleep these days. Because, your sleep, your rest impacts your cardiovascular health. Freebie on a
Mhm.
Friday. Make sure y'all going to bed and getting quality sleep. But when I get sleepy on the road, now one of the things that Alisha taught me as a practice was the I pat myself. So
Mhm.
when I started getting sleepy and you have to explain what this is, I just remember the feeling that I was rejuvenated in the process. So I
Mhm.
pat myself 11 times while I'm driving because I still
Mhm.
got one hand on the wheel. And then I just go to the other side and I pat myself 11 times
Switching hands while you're driving.
with my
Yes.
hand still on the wheel. Hey, I got it like this. And then I also do it to my legs while I'm driving. And so that does, it seems like it recirculates my blood flow, but
Yeah,
you
that's
feel
your
the
so your
key for a
lymphatic
few
system.
movements as a
Mhm.
part of the recovery process, things that you can do. You don't have to go through the whole thing, but drop the people a little tip on what that movement is. That
And
was
I
powerful.
and I would love, and I'm feel so bad that I can't think of the doctor's whole name. Dr. Nicholson, I feel like he is a chiropractor and he came up with the big six.
The
And you
big,
can find him on social media. But so it's where your lymph nodes are, so your lymphatic system. So that's what you're describing.
okay,
Can't think of his first name right now, but Nicholson, I feel like is the last name
okay,
on Instagram. Again, a chiropractor. And if you look up Stop Chasing Pain, because I'm not a
okay,
gatekeeper,
okay.
right? So Stop Chasing Pain. He gives so much information just about oftentimes when we feel pain, say you're feeling pain in your shoulder. Well,
Mhm.
that might not be, you feel the pain there, but that might not be the root cause. That might not be where it's actually originating. And so we notice this as massage professionals and other professionals in their scope, but you're going to be thinking, well, why isn't Alicia? I told her that my left shoulder is hurting, but she hasn't massaged my left shoulder yet. I get that, a lot when you do an assessment and you do your intake and the client is very specific at where they are feeling pain
Uh-huh.
and the session starts and I'm doing what I do and it's like, you haven't touched my, because that's most likely not even, you're feeling it there, but we're
Source of
getting
pain.
to
Yeah.
so check him out. But we were what you're demonstrating was just like your lymph nodes, lymphatic system, so the tapping and the rubbing just to kind of move and get things flowing and moving. So he'll give you a very detail of your behind your ears here. We were rubbing. I like
Yes.
to come down on my.
That is very helpful as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 So remember, we were doing this one, and
Mhm.
then your collarbone above and
Right
below
here.
here. And he says 9 times. The sequence is kind of open ended, but 9, 11, and then
Mhm.
underarms, and then we would go to the abdominals, like you demonstrated. You said you're tapping on your abdominal area, or just going clockwise, and then you can go your groin area.
Mhm.
I'm in a skirt, and then behind the knees will be the next one, and then down to your ankles. So, but check that out. You'll love it, and I'm gonna make sure that we go into a more in depth sequence together, and then we can film it as well and share it.
Oh, that'll be
Yeah,
great.
we'll
That'll be
do that
great.
next visit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you all are just joining us, thank you so much. I am live in the studio on Figured Out Friday. I'm your girl, Regina. We're doing like we're integrative health and consulting, the plant-based boss. Today I have with me who has been sharing about recovery, Alisha Reese. She is a recovery sports strength specialist. I'm not giving her title the proper due credit, but I'll let her tell that. But I had the beautiful experience of a 45-minute sports stretch. And it literally changed the trajectory of my recovery plan, my wellness plan when it comes to just relaxation and stress and tension in our bodies. So it's not just for athletes. If you work, if you go outside your house and work, or if you're a stay-at-home person, you work inside your house, or if you are retired, you still have a lot of responsibilities. You still think a
Absolutely.
lot. you're navigating a lot, and you're carrying a lot of tension in your bodies. One of the ways that we can improve our long term health is to make sure that we allow our bodies time to recover. And so that's why I invited Alisha in the studio today. We are live with a beautiful face on LinkedIn, Facebook, as well as here on YouTube. Thank you. Perry Nicholson is his
You found
name.
her?
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, this amazing YouTuber, or yes, YouTuber found it for us. Perry Nicholson. We're talking about your lymph nodes, how to stop chasing pain, and how you can activate your body as a part of your recovery plan. Thank you so much for that, Jay. We appreciate your engagement. Um, Alisha,
Yes.
so a sports stretch
Mhm.
compared to a regular massage, because people are familiar. Good morning over there on Instagram. Thank you all for joining us. People are familiar with a massage. What's the difference in a massage and a sports stretch?
So the only major difference, because the effects on the body are gonna be the same, if you will. Mine is, like we were saying, you're active in this process. So when you're going to get a therapeutic, a Swedish massage, and you're lying on the table, you're asleep in
Mhm.
some cases, and you're just going to experience that massage professional massaging your body, applying specific strokes to the body. When you talk about a sports stretch, you're fully clothed.
Mhm.
So you saw the difference there. So you're active in this process. You're not, your body's going to be in a relaxed state, but mentally you are still aware because you're participating in this movement. We're constantly communicating and we're working very closely. So if you recall me even telling you like, hey, I'm coming into a close area, I'm coming over you, because it's a we,
You're
it's
close
a
to her.
it's a lot, because I'm assisting you, I'm guiding you as your body is stretching and moving. And so as far as the benefits and what you're going to be feeling, about the same, it's just different, and this is more intense to me.
It is.
It's more intense, and so you're getting that faster sensation and relief is what I find, and the feedback that I've gotten from clients is more so how you're feeling after is almost an immediate response to the body is what
It
I've been seeing.
is. I can
Mhm,
attest to that. Like I said, I had the beautiful opportunity of this sports recovery stretch.
mhm,
And what I attest to that I highly recommend, and I would love for you to when I post this, put in the comments, are ways that people can have access to you and other sports professionals who do the same type of work, because I know it's a network. Is everybody didn't do
yeah.
this, and so there are people just around who can help you to shift from just, oh, let me just go get this massage, but really being able to release tension in the body. And again, I was there about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I still have that same lightness. Before I went, I did have some, some little light things going on that have
Mhm.
resolved, because you have this little feeling in your knee. I have not had any type of, from my walking and from my running, any type of like
That's good.
thing going on. So I really know
Mhm,
that how all the pressure, because you did go in a sequence, which was pretty cool, as we move through the body and
mhm.
understanding, like, taking our time to do this. So I so appreciate having the opportunity to be at Yellow Scarf Retreat for my own experience. Alisha, for someone who says, but I don't have time for recovery, I don't have time for self-care, let alone a wellness plan, what would you say to them?
Can I be honest?
As long as you don't use profane language, okay? You can be honest, but don't use profane language over up in here.
No, I'm not in the business of convincing
Mhm.
individuals about, you can either invest in your health or you can invest in your illness.
Mhm.
I'm just,
Yeah.
there is plenty of time. It's a choice. So when
Yes.
people, if you don't have time, I'm gonna just say, okay. I'm just being honest. Okay. Because I'm not, I'm not here to try to tell you, or that's outside of my scope to try to convince you as to how much time you have in the 24-hour period to make a sound, conscious choice about improving the quality of your life.
Oh,
I'm I'm a few decades in now. Maybe in my younger days, I would go into the, oh no, you can, but just for here for the platform,
yeah.
um, I guess I would just say start small. Start where you are. Um, do what you can, because even 5 minutes, 10 minutes, if you can stretch at home, um, and be intentional about it, you're doing something. You're finding time. You're not spending no money. You're in your own space, so there are things you can do, but just realistically, there is plenty of time. We just have to make conscious choices that are for our best. And we're so used to operating how we do that we think it's all good. We think it's normal, not understanding that there's still so much expansion, even in your thinking. We think we're thinking when we're really not. Moving, you just used to being in this body and dealing with the knee pain and the foot hurting that you think is normal,
Mhm.
and until you discover it's another side of things. It's a better way to
Mhm.
live and exist while you're here. So I hope I answered that. I would be honest in saying that, if you tell me you don't have the time to do it, I'm gonna just say okay.
Cool. You like cool.
Oh.
Deuces. Hey, I'll put my energy somewhere else.
Be,
And
yeah.
yeah, I get it. I get it 100%. Yeah, like so you decades in. And so the thing about what Alicia said, and I appreciate that, people say you can't, and if you like quotes, people say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Furthermore, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't even make them thirsty. So if people are not ready, and I think a coach said, when the student is ready, the
The
teacher will
teacher will
appear.
appear 100%.
If you're not ready to invest in your health in a way that's practical for you, then that's still a decision that you have to make, because whether you do it now or not, you're still impacting your health. And so, thank you for saying that. Start where you are, but if you don't want to invest in your health, that is a choice that you get to make. You get to make, and so that's a freebie on a Friday. We
Okay.
invest in a lot of things. We absolutely invest in a lot of things. The 4th of July is coming up. I think that's like tomorrow. People have bought so many different outfits. You're gonna see so much dairy, so much ice cream. But it's a freebie on a Friday, and I will be
Yes.
remiss if I didn't tell you all, if you can avoid that dairy tomorrow. Do you know that dairy is the number one source of saturated fat in the American diet? Saturated fat is the leading cause of artery clogging conditions such as high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, particularly high blood pressure. And so I would be remiss if I didn't just remind you of that on this Friday. You can prevent some cardiovascular issues with some dietary changes. And so I just have to say that every time I get an opportunity, because we're here to touch and impact as many lives as we can for better health. That's my whole goal in pulling up on Fridays. Alicia, it has
Yes.
been my pleasure to have this conversation with you about movement. I learned about your dad and how he said no to chemotherapy, how he said no to radiation, and he chose a lifestyle of changes and lived 20 plus years
Oh
without a
yeah.
traditional intervention. And then here you come, making the connection. BAMs, tell the people how they could stay well before we tell the people how they can stay connected with you and what you have coming up. If you could offer our audience one challenge this week to improve their recovery, what would it be? One challenge to improve your recovery this week.
I would say, and this gonna again, we want to complicate or things that sound so complex. If it's something you could do just this week right now, and you probably haven't done it in a while, soak your feet. And
Okay.
I'm being honest.
Okay.
Soak your feet, magnesium flakes, and I have a foot soak on my website, that a
Okay.
therapeutic foot soak.
Okay.
Your feet carry you around every day. Your feet are so important. Reflexology in the feet, you can touch every organ. So again, it may sound like, what is she saying? It's so simple, but it's very effective. soak your feet. If you can't do anything else, to just start somewhere with your recovery. That is a form of recovery. Just like when you can get in an ice bath, you cold plunge, you get in the sauna, soaking your feet.
Wow.
Magnesium flakes, Epsom salt, some nice essential oils. But I do have a foot soak on my website. So I would say that, and always honor your breath, just your breathing.
Mm.
Get into some conscious breathing. Those are things that you could absolutely do, and that conscious breathing is free.
Mhm.
There are demonstrations throughout YouTube and different platforms, but conscious breathing is also a good, and that's a free way that you can start recovery today, or challenge yourself. Conscious breathing, soak your feet.
Two things that Alicia has left you with. Alicia, it has been my
Yeah.
pleasure to have you here this morning. I want you to let the people know what you have coming up, as well as how can they stay connected with the one and only Alicia Reese.
And thank you so much. Your energy, and like I said, I feel it. I feel it. I just feel it. And I appreciate you
You're welcome.
so much. I have not been up at this hour engaging in quite some time. So I'm trying to match your energy, Regina. But I'm
Hey,
saying you are what you do, you're great at. I love it. Very authentic and genuine. And I just appreciate you
thank
for having
you.
me and for sharing the information that you're sharing with your platform. Um, bodyandmindsolutions.com is the website. And on that website, you can contact me. There's the phone numbers there, email is there, all the information is on the website. So bodyandmindsolutions.com is the best way to reach me. And it has everything on the website there. So
Tell the people a
appointments,
little
the
bit.
products.
Okay. What kind of products do you have? If the people like, I'm not going over there, I don't even know what you got. Give the people a
So
little spiel about some of your products that you have available for them to have access to. I have some of your products, but give the people some of your products
okay.
that they can have access to. And then I also want you to talk about Yellow Scarf retreats also.
Oh, for sure. So everything on the site, always vegan, always created with love, no synthetics. So aromatherapy products, meaning using essential oils only. I'm certified. I studied aromatherapy for massage therapy. So everything in my practice, I'm using my own oils, my own massage butters. What goes on your body goes in your body. So no
Mm,
different than you're checking labels on food. You have to read these labels on the products that you are using every day. That's another,
mhm.
we'll come back for a whole nother segment on there. But you can find shower steamers. So when you're taking your shower, you can make your shower become again another recovery space. I have citrus that's going to be invigorating to wake you up. We have peppermint that's going to stimulate your mind. And
Mhm.
lavender, we know, is always one of our favorite, like just to relax is what I go to lavender for, right? So shower steamers, bath bombs, the nasal inhalers, and you have the nasal inhaler. So instead of going to the store and buying, the inhaler that may have 10 plus ingredients, simple ingredients that's going to help you either to with your immune support. I have one again for the mental aspects of things, staying sharp, staying on point. Sinuses, if you suffer or experience sinuses, headaches, we have foot soaks, bath salt. So all the things that when you're not seeing me, when you're at home, I'm going to give you a regimen or something you can also do at home, because you have to keep refilling your cup. You have to pour from your overflow, and these products help you to do that. And of course, the massage butters that are used on professionals every day, the flow butter and the flow sauce. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. Do
Mhm.
you have any events coming up soon?
So I had an event on the 11th and we pushed that one back. So
Okay.
we're going to have an event August 1st, the first Saturday. And that's
Okay.
going to be at the 414 building downtown Jackson. So I'm
Okay.
going to be soliciting for vendors to come out to sell their products. We're going to have a wellness station, but I want apparel. I want, just like your hats, your arts, your crafts, jewelry makers, candles, all things that align. So that's going to be on August
August
1st. hmm I'm gonna start working on getting that flyer circulated over the weekend. So that's the first event, and then at the Yellow Scarf, that's open to other professionals. So, like you said, team building exercises. If you have your own wellness event, you may be a Pilates instructor, yoga instructor, and you want that outdoor experience. And I don't know, but you've been there. It's an
It's a
energy and
zen.
a
It's a
vibe
zen.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a Zen. Zen is in, I think we came up with.
Yeah. Zen is in that
Zen
space.
is in.
Yeah.
So that's pretty open to
Mhm.
individuals who may want to come and host something there. But I'm going to be planning a workshop to do some bath salts very soon
Okay.
so that you can create. So a workshop where you can kind of create some of your own at home self care products. So that's going to be coming maybe like September. That's
Okay.
tentative, but stay tuned. Like everything will be listed on that website.
And you'll be back on. We'll bring you back on to as it get closer to time. Before we
Yes.
get out of here, thank you all so much. I wanted to invite you. Thank you for pulling up. We talked about movement and recovery. The reason why I brought Alisha on is because we do a lot of education, nutrition literacy, educating you on what to eat, how to eat, why, and how it impacts your body. We also talk about chronic stress in the body. And so, if you are a leader or if you are even a household member, you are carrying some level of stress or you have the potential to carry some level of stress. And so, what I know is that when you allow your body to fully recover, go through a recovery process, then you are able to show up more fully. And so, having Alisha here, who is a consultant that does recovery practices, then I wanted to make sure that we make that connection. It's not just movement, it's not just nutrition. What does your recovery practice look like? So, thank you so much. You can reach Alisha at Body Mind Solutions. That's BAMS, Jackson, Mississippi. She has her socials, Instagram, as well as on Facebook. Be sure to connect with Alisha Reese. If you forget all of that, just message me and I will make sure to get her information over to you. Before we get out of here, I do have a charge for each and every one of you. Make sure if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, Doing Life Well with Regina, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're going to be having a podcast later on down in the year, but right now, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Mark your calendars, July 16th. July 16th, I will be hosting a master class, Recovering the Recoverable. If you're struggling in your health, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, or if you're carrying excess weight, you're going to want to be in this master class. I'm going to walk you through my signature framework as well as provide you with a workbook so that you can do the work yourself and have that when you exit the master class. So head over to my website and get your ticket for July the 16th. 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. People have been saying, I want to work with you, Regina. Here's your opportunity to work with me as you support your own health and your wellness journey. The name of this masterclass is Stop Blaming Your Genes.
Mm.
Oftentimes we think that things run in our families, but the truth of the matter is the only thing that runs in our families most of the time are the bad recipes that we continue to pass on. And so
Oh,
I'm inviting you into this fun space. We're going to have a good time. We have breakout sessions for you to do some actual work, but I will be teaching my signature framework as well as giving you very specific tools so that you can recover the recoverable, as I believe your health is most certainly recoverable. I also believe that if it's preventable, then it's reversible. We have a decision to make the choice to do the work, the necessary work in order to recover our whole health. It has been my pleasure, as always, to pull up to you all on Figured Out Fridays, where you don't have to figure it out alone. If my content in any way, shape, form, or fashion has resonated with you, I just ask that you share my profile with at least 3 to 5 people in your ecosystem. Again, thank you for pulling up. I'm here every Friday, 6 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, as well as on Instagram. If there are topics as it relates to health and wellness, cardiovascular, type 2 diabetes, high blood, all things that you want to know more about, make sure you message me. I'm here for you to be of service to my community. So thank you all again so much for pulling up. If you did not know, and I'm going to close out on this, shout out to Jackie Horbrook and the BCI Black Christian Influencers family. I got to do a whole set about that. Last week I spent 5 days in Chicago, Illinois for the Black Christian Influencers Conference, which was very, very impactful. So those 5 days were beyond what I could do in a 90-second reel. So that's why I have not posted a whole lot about that. That's going to take some work. But again, thank you all for pulling up on this Speak It Out Friday. Make sure you share my profile and make sure you are engaging with me throughout the week as I provide you with teaching information, tools that you can use and apply to your daily life, like right now today. All right, it's Figured Out Friday. What I want you to figure out is that you don't have to go to that barbecue tomorrow and eat something that you don't want to eat. Y'all have a good weekend. Thank y'all for pulling up. Thank you, Alisha, so much. Hang back in the studio for me, Alisha. We're going to see you later. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, as well as LinkedIn. Y'all have an amazingly phenomenal weekend.